Hi, I'm Lance with Ultimate Canine, and today we're going to talk about a touchy subject, and that is clients that want protection training for their dog. I would say probably 1 out of every 8 to 10 leads that we get, a client says, we want our dog to do protection. I always ask clients, what does protection mean to you? You know, they see that I was in the military, trained dogs in the military, so they think that I'm going to train their dog to do protection. And I'm capable of doing that, but what they don't understand and the questions that they usually ask are, or they'll say, I want my dog to know who's good and bad, and I want that dog to protect my family when I'm not home, or, you know, I just want my dog to make that decision. And that's a very dangerous thing to have. So before you think about doing protection, unless you're a professional trainer or somebody that's doing IGP or PSA and you know what you're doing and you're working with a group of people that know what they're doing and you're doing it for an absolute purpose, you know, those folks are a whole different ball of wax. But for the general public that wants a protection dog, there is a ton of liability there. If you have kids and you teach a dog to make the decisions of who to bite and who not to bite, that kid brings somebody in and they're running around screaming or wrestling, and that dog bites a kid, you're automatically in a whole mess of hot water. Lawsuits, people's parents, all sorts of stuff. And the trauma that's going to happen to your kid seeing your dog maul their friend because we thought it was something that we wanted, it's just a horrible thing. So out of all the clients that asked that, I've only taught protection to one client in 20 years. Because in order to teach protection, that dog has to be under total control. There has to be a reason for it. And a lot of people, it's very expensive to teach protection the correct way. And there's many different ways that are correct, but you know, what does protection mean to you? Why do you need it? And do you have the fortitude to go through all the obedience with your dog and all of those other things, and then to get through the protection aspect of it, to make your dog solid with it? It can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous. The one thing that you should always do if you're thinking about teaching your dog protection is on command only. If your dog is ever making a decision of who to bite, that is a bad situation. Your dog is going to end up biting somebody that you don't want them to bite. I've seen it happen over and over. You know, people go out, they find somebody, they do some bite work with them, they teach the dog to be nasty, like a junkyard dog, and then the dog bites somebody that they're not intended to, and then those people are getting sued. They're going through a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just not worth it. If you have a solid, stable dog, like, you know, the right German Shepherd or the right this breed or that breed, and you're in panic mode and somebody is attacking you, more than likely your dog is going to try to help you. If your dog is really well trained, you have a psychological deterrent there, so you shouldn't really have to worry about too much. That dog is going to try to help you if somebody's attacking you. So for the most part, they should. Now, if your dog is scared, obviously it's not the right dog for protection anyway. It's not the right dog that's going to help you, and the only hope you have there is a psychological deterrent. Most people are in a pretty good spot where they don't need their dog to do protection. Very few people attack somebody with a dog. Very few people will break into a house with a dog. Putting some signs around your house, that will help make your house safer too. But the legal ramifications of if your dog bites somebody that's even attacking you, in some states, you're still going to be held liable. You're still going to get sued, and you're going to spend a ton of money, you know, with legal fees and all that kind of stuff. So you need to talk to your lawyer. You need to find out legally what your state says about that and how to proceed. If that's something that you're really serious about, then you should contact the correct trainers that do the correct thing and that you feel comfortable. But safety is the number one thing there, because legally you are going to be, it could be a real legal problem at the end of the day and a safety issue. So you want to make sure that it's safe for everybody involved. And those are my thoughts on, should I have a protection dog? So what I've done over the years with some people that do want to do protection, but they don't really want their dog to bite anybody, they just want their dog to scare people away. So if you have the right dog, you can teach the dog to bark at a toy, or you can teach the dog to bark at other people, but not go any further with any type of bite work, and you can just put a command in front of it like guard. And the dog will bark on command, and maybe he's not barking to scare people away, he's barking for you to give him a ball, but they're not going to know that. So that's pretty much the furthest that I go with people that are semi-serious with it. In order for protection to happen, it needs to be a real commitment. So stuff to think about.